What is going on, guys? Grave here. Welcome back to Star Wars Battlefront 2. Of course, today we got the anticipated 1.1 update. There's a lot of changes to classes, weapons, heroes. So I'm going to link these patch notes down in the description below. There's a lot of changes, so even after you watch the video, you still may want to check into these patch notes, look them over, because there's a lot of big things going on within the game. We got some pretty cool additions to the game to begin with. Of course, Blast on Crate. They're expanding the way that you can play this map by adding it into the Blast game mode. So that has been added. And they said there's going to be battle in the mines among the machinery and crystals left over from previous occupants. Also, Iden got added within the game. Iden is also always been a character you can use in Galactic Assault to use as one of your villains, but now she has been added within Starfighter Assault. So you can use Iden's TIE Fighter in Starfighter Assault. She has had new abilities, new star cards, and also new milestones added for Starfighter Assault, which is pretty neat that they've kind of expanded on her character and put her in Starfighter Assault. Now we're going to get into a lot of the hero changes. The first one is Finn. Finn has been a very good hero since he's been added in the game. A lot of people did not expect him to be as good. He's got a reduction in base damage of his EL-16 from 65 to 45. That is a pretty big damage reduction. Also reduction to the time before the heat cooldown kicks in from 3.5 to 1.5 seconds, and the reduced damage of each Deadeye shot from 40 to 30. They did not change any of his buffing abilities. He has a lot of things where he can buff teammates around him. The main thing they did with Finn is kind of reduce the way that he does damage, which is going to be a big change for a lot of people that really like to use Finn. Now, Phasm got some changes, but nothing that I was really expecting. All they did was reduce the heat generated per shot of her F11D. I was expecting to maybe get some more damage because Captain Phasm is a good character, but the weapon does not seem to do enough damage, and the abilities, in my opinion, are not that great. But just that reduction of heat generation per shot may help out more than I'm expecting. Also, Lando had some issues where there was a bug where he was not properly generating the correct cooldown. That was addressed. And last but not least for the heroes, Boba Fett got a lot of changes. Reduction of the damage per rocket of the rocket barrage from 90 to 78. Reduced the inner damage radius for each rocket from 2 to 1.5. And reduced the outer damage radius of each rocket from 4 to 3. Now, I did not think that he was way too overpowered for his rocket abilities. I think that his weapon, his main weapon, his E11, is very underpowered. And I think his main primary weapon needed to be buffed, but instead they have gone with a nerf to all his abilities, or really his rocket barrage abilities. And after that was all of the things we got within the heroes, which was kind of strange to me because the complaints within and about the Emperor being able to use his lightning through walls was not addressed yet. Hopefully that will be soon. But as of right now, we got a nerf to Boba Fett and a nerf to Finn. A little bit of a change to Phasm, and of course some bug fixes for Lando. Now we're going to get into classes and kind of the special units. The Wookiee Warriors were a big complaint because you could use a Wookiee Warrior and it's almost good as a hero in a lot of people's opinion. So they reduced the bowcaster's center projectile damage from 1.3 to 1, lowered the bowcaster's fall-off distance at the start from 20 to 10, and at the end from 30 to 25 meters. Bowcaster's explosion damage and projectile damage to match the fall-off and have a higher effect. Also increased the bowcaster's heat per shot. Another character that I thought would kind of fall in with this would have been Chewbacca. He is very good in Heroes vs. Villains, not that great in Galactic Assault, but I guess as of right now they did not see a need to change anything with him, but the Wookiee Warrior did get a change for the better in my opinion. The Specialist class got a reduced size of the scope glint. They also added glint to the EL-16 HFE, the A280, the Pulse Rifle, and Captain Phasm's F11D. Excuse me. I think that's kind of interesting, especially to Captain Phasm's, that they've added scope glint, but they've added scope glint to all those weapons in general, which is going to kind of change the way that you play with those weapons, and of course Captain Phasm. Reduced heat per shot for the following long-range weapons: the Valken 38X, the E5S, the DLT-20A, the DLT-19X, the A180, and the DLT-19D. So all of those have had a reduction in heat per shot, which is a good thing for longer ranger weapons because they can overheat very quickly. And increase the burst per minute of all infiltration variants from 100 to 130, so those are going to have a bit more increased burst radius, which I think is good because when you use that infiltration card and you go in, especially with the specialist class, sometimes that weapon kind of lets me down in my opinion, so I think that increase in fire rate should help. Reduction of the area of effect of supercharge and explosive sentry. They did not reduce the damage, but the area of effect, and the heat per shot from supercharged sentry from 0.015 to 0.017. So that has changed a little bit. Maybe that will tone down that supercharge and explosive sentries. They are pretty strong. The officer class got a reduction in explosive damage when turret is destroyed by a blaster fire from 150 to 25. Now we're really going to get into what changes came to the weapons. Unfortunately, my favorite weapon in the game, which is the CR2 for the assault class, got a lower start damage from 17 to 16, a lower end damage from 9 to 8. So that's really only a not many 1 to 2 bullet difference depending on latency and whatnot. But that's not too big of changes. But one thing they did change was reduce the damage fall off in distance from 40 to 30. That weapon does not have a great damage at a distance to me anyway, so that may hurt the weapon at those medium to long ranges a lot more than it should. Of course, the barrage got a reduced inner blast radius from 3.5 to 2 meters, increased outer blast radius from 5 to 6 meters, and an increased explosion damage from 55 to 100. The Blurg, the officer pistol, probably one of the best weapons in the game, got a lot of changes. Reduced fall-off start distance from 20 to 15, reduced start damage of explosive shot from 29 to 26, reduced the end damage of explosive shot from 10 to 18, reduced the inner blast radius of explosive shot, reduced the outer blast radius of explosive shot, and reduced the accuracy of the final shots when burst mode is equipped. So that Blur got a lot of changes. It was, in my opinion, still at the time was one of the best weapons, and it still may be for that officer class because of that burst fire mode. We're going to have to wait and see how much these changes really affect exactly what's going to happen with that gun. The trip mines got increased the number of mines that you can deploy at the same time from 1 to 2, and raised the time until the mines disappear after death from 5 to 15 seconds. I think that is a big thing. From 5 to 15 seconds after death is a pretty big bonus with those trip mines, so definitely have to keep that in mind while playing. And of course, there was a lot of general changes for bugs, stability improvements, miscellaneous bug fixing, as they word it. So that's pretty much just the gist of this entire patch. Guys, leave me a comment and let me know what you think. Do you think that officer class was hit too hard? Of course, a lot of those changes to the Blurg was with the explosive shot. All of these hard-hitting main weapons, a lot of people were using the CR2 and the Blurg, have been changed. And some of the heroes, I'm not quite sure about why Emperor Palpatine was not put in that nerf list. But, of course, guys, we'll have some more updates, I'm sure, soon. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. And, of course, guys, if you like the video, hit the like. If you have not subscribed yet, please do so. And I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.